right, hello everybody and welcome to an impromptu live stream. I haven't done one of these in a while. I try to do them whenever I can, whenever the schedule allows, especially with the any of the celestial events here like new moons or full moons. And with this particular new moon, it's right on the heels of Mercury that's going to go direct. So we're going to have a chance now to create some action. I know it's been an interesting month. I have to say I've definitely felt the effects of retrograde this period. Lots of blessings, lots of challenges, and that's the name of the game with Mercury. It likes to teach us, help us, and welcome Apollo. He just joined us, and allow us to release things that we don't need. But the focus today is about planting new seeds, setting intentions, opening up doorways. So just take a second here, close your eyes. If you've been busy, worried, whatever, I'd just like you to take a deep breath. We very rarely do this anymore, but take a moment here just to tune in. Let go of whatever it is that you were bringing into this reading and just be open. And I'm going to call in protection here and guidance in the highest forms so that we can take a look using a Celtic Cross today at the energy for this new moon. Welcome. This is September 14th that I'm recording it, but a new moon is going to take us through the next 2 weeks. So anytime that you hear this over the next couple of weeks, welcome. And I hope you get something out of this. All right, I'm going to see what's coming through. We're just going to do a traditional Celtic Cross, possibly with a catalyst, and we'll take it from there. Lots of swords here, lots of change. I can see all of the retrograde energy kind of in the past, which is interesting. Using appropriately enough the sun and moon deck here. Okay, let's go ahead and add a catalyst to the mix so we can get a nice full view of everything that's going on. Glad you like this shirt. This was a gift from my mom, who's now in spirit, and I always think of her when I wear it. All right, we're going to get started here with the catalyst, and it says patience. Time to take your time. This is loosely connected also to the temperance card here. So, but it's kind of, I like this illustration a little bit more. It's basically showing you that with patience comes growth, and you never want to rush anything important. I wish that, you know, in school they would teach you that nothing really good comes out of rushing. And we're, you know, I spent a good amount of time. I was talking to an old friend from high school last night who just happened to be in town. And I said, you know, well, I wish one of the things that we had learned was just we didn't have to go through all of these paces. You didn't have to rush. And it was just about being present and taking your time. So I think there's a lot to come of that. I rushed through like grad school and undergraduate and tried to like just get to the next chapter instead of maybe just being more present and thinking, is this what I want to do? What do I want to do next? So be really tuned into your intention, and then the action that follows is more impactful, okay? Let's look at the cards here. We're going to pay special attention to the stuff we want to make sure is out of our energy going into the new moon, and then we'll kind of embrace all the cool stuff here that's waiting. Let me look at the poll here and see how some of you are feeling about things. So I love that there's a lot of optimism. Many of you said you feel open to the possibilities, so that's good. And many of you also say that you're hopeful. So I think hope and openness help feed one another. So let's look at this. Isn't it interesting? Still in the presenting position, we have 9 of Swords. It's an improvement from the deep past, which was 10 of Swords. Both are reversed, which shows me that stress management is probably the key thing right now. And it feels like whatever needed to go, whatever needed to happen did, because we have both the Tower and the 10 of Swords. And now we have 7 of Swords crossing this. So just to heart break it down for a second, it feels like many of you have been through some significant changes either in your own mind, body, and spirit or in your environment. And in looking at what was going on, it was about basically not being afraid of change, not letting your anxieties or projections get in the way of seeing opportunities, and taking care of yourself, okay? We'll break it down card by card, but that's a summary. The first one here is, are you getting enough sleep right now? It's really important. One of the things I recently did, and it was like the biggest life improvement ever, was to replace my bed. So I have a new mattress, new bed, and it was something that I'd been dragging my feet for a while. And in fact, I was even on a temporary sort of air mattress for a while, and I finally just took care of it. And now I can sleep soundly. And I do a lot of work in my sleep. So that was like the biggest improvement I could have given to myself. So it's not something you do all the time. It might be every 10 years or so that you do that. But little things that you can do is make sure that your sleep schedule is okay. I enjoy a good cup of coffee, but I try not to have anything after 4 o'clock. Little things to help with your ability to just rest well. And then don't burn the candle at both ends. This is also about talking to people around you about your fears, about your anxieties. A lot of times you can find out how they dealt with them. Of course, this includes a professional, okay? All of those things. This is crossing that card, and this can be a fear of a repeat of the past because it's not really showing up in the presenting energy. Seven of Swords is someone who takes advantage of you, doesn't show up and do what they were going to say they were going to do. It's just a lack of integrity or a lack of accountability. So I think you can recognize that probably from a mile away now. Let's not be afraid of repeats. Let's set into the seeds of the new moon that you've done the work and you're only ready or willing to bring in other people who have done the work into your life as well. And if there's anything that you need to do to improve, increase, or basically connect to that accountability, now is the time to do it. Today is the day to set that intention. And just like that massive plane behind us, things will take off after that. In the deep past, it feels like if there was any sadness, disappointment, etc., it's water under the bridge if you'll let it be water under the bridge. Also, not allowing yourself to go to an extreme of feeling, like you're exhausted or that what you did was not worth it, that you're not good enough. Because the Ten of Swords can be a card where we put the tag failure on something that was just an experience. Let's just view things as experiences that can help us grow rather than saying, I failed or I'm a failure. I'd rather you look at it as I learned a lot. It was difficult, but I learned a lot and I'm not going to do it again. And if you don't do it again, you're not failing. So focusing on stress management, working on accountability, and reframing the narrative when it comes to things that didn't go as expected. And now many of you may still be in the throes of change, but we have the Tower here. So let the dust settle as you start to experience new things in your life. If you just started a new relationship, if you just left a relationship, same thing with a job or a moving situation, you don't really know how the new you is until you give your wings a chance to be spread out and fly. It's kind of like a butterfly or a moth. If you've ever watched them coming out of a chrysalis, they have to gently unfold them. The wings have to dry a little bit and they take a moment before flying. Okay, so give yourself a moment before flying. It looks like most of the clearing has been done, but if there still is a little bit of work to do, it's in the past, so it feels like you know what you need to finish it. Because you really don't want that to have to come around during the next retrograde cycle, which is in December. So let's sort it out, let it go. That is in the past, folks. So everything else is very bright. You can even see a change. We've gone from a lot of swords and the Tower to some brighter cards here, some resource cards coming in, and that's a good thing. So what's going on in your mind at the moment? Taking control of things, getting back on track. Maybe trying to, I look at these two different bulls going in different directions, or cows, and it's kind of like, there was an old commercial on TV, I think it was a Super Bowl ad, where they were cat herding, trying to get a bunch of cats to go in one direction. Cats are fiercely independent, obviously, and you can't always do that. You may be at a juncture in your life where you realize that person's very independent, this group isn't very interested. I'm going to focus on the people, the opportunities, the energy that really wants to move with me, and then I can make things happen. So don't waste your time, don't waste your breath on things where the people just aren't going to listen, okay? That's going to help you get your chariot going in the right direction, okay? This is saying fight for what matters most in your life, let go of things that don't matter, and don't sort of sit back in the background and hope things will go okay. This is a card of speaking up, being very active, being very connected to the moment and saying, I have a perspective, I have a point of view. Whether or not people listen, that's a whole other thing. And whether you want to be patient with people that aren't listening, Again, this is just a time for you to articulate and see what can happen, and do so with an openness that it might be really, really good. Okay. Ace of Wands, near future. This is why we're here, folks. This is the seed of opportunity. So all aces are seeds. Ace of Wands, it's an idea that wants to come to fruition. So many of you may have been sort of ruminating on something, marinating with something, thinking about something. And it's kind of like the torch that hasn't been lit. And what you're going to do today is light the torch and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do to breathe life, to create traction, to create action. You can do that because by the time most of you watch this, Mercury will be direct and the new moon will be underway, and there's no better time to start new things than this time. So just say, I'm ready now. If not now, then when? And pick the when point and circle it on the calendar, and then create some accountability behind when and how you're going to create that sort of spark here, okay? It's a great time for brainstorming. An offer could be on the table. Someone could be reaching out to you. Be patient with things as they start to develop, okay? Looking at how you're showing up right now in mind, body, and spirit, we have the Hierophant in reversed, the reverse state, I should say. And this is basically saying some of you may be needing to just reconnect a little bit with your spiritual side, with meditation. Again, almost like Temperance reverse, slowing down a little bit. This is also about going counter to what's expected. A very traditional and regimented card. When reversed, the Hierophant is the opposite. So some of you may be stuck in a family or a company or an organization where they want you to fit into a box that is not you. And so you're going to say, I can't, I understand that you want me to do this or be this, but it's my life and I want to do this. So this is about kind of claiming or reclaiming your vision, your plan. You don't have to do this overnight, but there is this sort of desire to break free or break out for some of you. For the rest, it's just thinking outside of the box. A solution may not be obvious, and the people in control or the people that you normally would go to for advice, you may need to expand your network a little bit to find someone that's a little bit more imaginative, if you will, okay? As we look at what is going on in the environment, I'm seeing that same energy of, these are two of the most traditional cards, the Hierophant and the Emperor. To me, they could just be brothers or cousins in the major arcana, hanging out together at the party, not wanting to change. So the Emperor in reverse in your environment is someone that has a hard time letting you grow up or have control or be yourself. Mother, father figure, boss figure, or a friend that has to take the spotlight. You can see how the sun is shining right over top of the Emperor. They want all the spotlight, all the energy. Okay, so you don't have to do that anymore if you don't want to. This might be a time where you're separating from that person and thinking, you know what, I shine just as brightly. I said this was representing you. You have just as much power and energy as this card. In fact, this is one up in the major arcana, so you're ready for an upgrade. This is also a time where you have to really figure out if it's worth it. Like I see a bunch of bees buzzing around his head. So there might just be a bunch of busy bees in your life, and they feel like they have a say or an opinion on something that you're doing. Who doesn't have an opinion? You just have to decide, am I going to focus on pleasing this person, or am I going to focus on contentment, fulfillment, and happiness in my life? Because you could spend your whole life trying to make the swarm happy, but it doesn't always work. So this is a time to really focus internally and really to focus not on wasting. I talked about wasting your breath, wasting your energy, or that tug of war in power. I feel like this is where the big shift is coming here on this new moon. It's power choices and power plays. And if you stop kind of putting the energy in that, then you can really breathe life into the idea here. Okay? Okay. Hopes, fears, and opportunities. Lovely to see a resource card here popping up for you. So this will help you breathe some life into that Ace of Wands that we just looked at. So the Princess of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, this is basically saying you are poised right now to be able to put your best foot forward. If you have an idea or something that you want to share, it's going to come more easily. Whether it doesn't matter how you're going to articulate it or demonstrate it, people are just already a little bit more tuned in and a little bit more open to what you have to say. If you are receiving and you're really open to receive, you may get a better offer right now than you normally would. And the main thing that we want to do in this period, because the center card was the Nine of Swords reversed, is not let our mind get in the way of receiving that. Don't block the blessing. This is a new thing that is coming through from Spirit. Like, if blessings come through and you've done the work, and ostensibly you have, because it wouldn't show up otherwise, don't block the blessing. Embrace it. Say thank you. That's the hardest thing, actually, in many parts of the world too, because we're even taught to not, be too bold, or, just to have like modesty. It's okay if you worked hard to simply say thank you. It's okay if someone gives you a gift and it's a nice even exchange just to say that means so much. That's all they wanted. And you've worked hard for it. It's like a Three of Pentacles moment, right? So be open to receive a good offer. Expect something better to come in on the horizon. I like this card. I like its placement. So that's the message there. There could be a pleasant surprise. So the Two of Swords is very much colored by the cards that surround it. And the cards that are, like, when we look at the near future and the distant outcome, or the outcome in general, this is an idea. This is something better than you could imagine. And so this is surpassing expectations. It might be unexpected, or even if you're clairvoyant, it might be out of your scope of vision, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It's a surprise. Two of Swords can be a surprise when it's upside down. Upright, it's a stagnation, it's a stalemate, and oftentimes there's a shade of gray. Reversed, clarity. It's like you've taken one of those swords and said, okay, I didn't expect it, but I'm not going to reject it. I'm going to see where it takes me. And then just be patient with that. I like the energy of the new moon. It looks really good. The key challenges for most of you that are tuning in right now, again, self-care and stress management, reframing past experiences so as not to feel like you failed, but instead to see context, finishing up, kind of sorting out any sort of changes or movements in your life. Again, the patience card is right by it, so being patient with the energy of change and transformation. Then feeding the idea or the energy, not feeding control sort of or power plays in your life, focusing on being, yourself, unique, and then a happy surprise on the horizon. What we didn't get was a lot of cups. Water's missing from this. But we got everything else. And wands? Yeah, we got one wand. So it's just cups. So let's, I like to kind of do a reader's choice here. So let's take a look here at a reader's choice and see what's going on with the energy of water. So emotional, self-care, all that jazz. Let's see what's going on with that. Two of Cups. All right, almost as if Spirit heard us directly. It's saying don't focus or worry so much about that. So for those of you that may be single and looking, let love come to you. Focus on all the stuff that we just talked about in my summary and just allow for love and opportunity to come to you when the time is right. And really set the expectation, because you can manifest right now, that you're ready, but you're also not rushed. You're willing to wait for the right connection. I mean, we're looking at the next 2 weeks. So even if it's towards the end of the next 2 weeks, put your focus out there. And then when you least expect it, that's when the connection will probably be coming in. Okay. This is also saying there may not be a sort of energetic need right now to put so much energy into others, because a lot of what we were talking about was managing your fear, managing your power dynamics, all that jazz. You kind of want to do that first before pulling in a partner. Otherwise, they're going to be the type that's going to focus a little bit more on, I need this, I want that. They're going to test boundaries, etc., etc. Okay, now I just want to do a big idea, and then I think we're done. I like to keep these nice and short and simple. All right, so the big idea. What else do you, kind of like from Spirit, what else do we need to be focusing on in this period of time? Three of Cups. All right, I said there were no cups, so now we're just going to get cups cards. Three of Cups in reverse. Many times this is sort of like that nudge from Spirit to say yes to an invitation. So maybe there's a social event, a networking event for work, an invitation to a wedding or something like that, and you think, I just want to not go. I just want to watch TV or read a book or meditate. There could be a really good connection that you meet there. It might be worth it. A lot of times with the Three of Cups in reverse, it's an unlikely social butterfly. And many of us that are highly sensitive people, you're like that, and I'm sure I'm like that too. A lot of times I just don't want to go out, and then when I go out, I'm like, oh, that was fun. Okay, I should do that a little more often. This is also an inclusivity message. So if you're feeling like you're not a part of a group, check in and think, is it just my block, or is it really them not wanting me there? And if they don't, then I'm going to just connect with people that do. I don't need to be a part of the popular kids because they're not popular to me if they're not including other people. So exclusivity is overrated. Try to find something that's more welcoming and inclusive. And then in your own life, see if you can't be inclusive and open to new people that might be going through a challenge. I talked about this in the Weekend Collective. If there's a new kid on the block or a new person at school or a new neighbor, extend your hand, say hello. Just try to warm up their day a little bit with an exchange. And if someone does that to you, let them know that that really made a difference, okay? Those are all the things with that. There could also be someone that's trying to butt in a little bit because this is a nosy card and it can be a third party. And we see here, again, the busy bee that should mind their own business. So you can push that energy to the side if that happens, okay? That, my friends, is everything. This is fun. I like to keep these short because I also have to record the next signs video, so I'm going to do that next. I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure that you opt into notifications, and I'll put my social media handles in a moment. But if you haven't ever subscribed, it's absolutely free, and it just lets you know when I post a new video. You can click on the bell icon too and opt into all notifications. That way, when I go live, you'll see something on your phone or mobile device. We know that Google doesn't always work and YouTube doesn't always work. So as a fail-safe, why not follow me on social media? Today, I actually did post it on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Threads, etc., etc. If you ever need to know exactly which handles are which, you can go to my official website or click on the About page here on my profile. Remember, I don't give private readings. I recently saw 2 profiles that I had to flag on TikTok that, you know, they're messaging people, they clone my picture, they put old content up, and they try to be me. So if someone offers you a reading or asks for money, no. The way that you can give back is through super stickers, super chat, and memberships. It's all here on YouTube. It's all optional. It does help. And actually, I'm going to take a couple moments here to say thanks in just a second. First things first, new videos are typically posted Monday, Thursday, and Friday, usually toward the end of those days. So for some of you, it might be the following days, but keep your notifications on and you'll know when that happens. I go live every Sunday, and then usually for special celestial events or when I feel like it. So I do lives, and now they're kind of more fun because I used to do them all the time, and now when I do them, it's kind of special. All right, I'd like to say thanks to every single person that watched this. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for finding me however you did. For those that have been longtime members, welcome back, and longtime subscribers, you guys make it all possible. All right, I'm going to take a couple of moments here just to thank everybody that gave back today, whether through a membership or a super sticker. I want to just acknowledge you real quickly, and then we'll wrap up for today. Okay, so let's begin with members. I'll see if I have any new ones from today. No new ones today, and that's fine. Let's take a look and see if there's any super stickers or super chat. And I think we don't have any new ones. Okay, so thank you everybody for showing up and making this a part of your day. Wishing you a lot of love and light and a great month ahead and a great period out of this retrograde. Remember to check out this month's videos. All of the September videos are live, and I'm working on October. I'm about midway through, and check out the playlist on my main channel page for more information. All right, from my heart to yours, lots of love and light. See you soon. Take care, guys. I think Apollo's in the other room, or I bring him up here. Take care. So long for now. Bye-bye.